Four, three, two, one. Hey guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Evyx podcast. It's Emet here with Cole today, and we're going to be talking to you all about the different classes in World of Warcraft and their equivalents in 14. Now, we thought this would be useful for you because a lot of players are coming over to Final Fantasy 14 from World of Warcraft, myself included. I recently came over because, to be quite honest with you, in my opinion, the game, just World of Warcraft is not a very good game anymore. There have been many game design decisions that have been made, over the past few years that have really put the game in a place where it's just no longer enjoyable. Issues with balance, a whole bunch of things. I could go on for hours.
Understatement, especially with the new interview from Ian. I don't even think I'm ever gonna come back. I mean, I might come at like 9.3 or whatever, but I can say after that interview, I personally can say I'm really disillusioned. Like,
oh no, exactly. Like recently, as recently as like what I was playing about a month ago, that was the last time I played. I was playing more for the friends that
only
I
a
had
month
in that game than the actual game itself.
Yeah, and then they quit. Like, our guild fell apart. Your friends like all quit, and then it was like, what
Exactly.
now?
And then I was kind of like, well, why am I here? Well, there's still a few great people there that I like and that I'd love to play games with again, but
oh yeah,
it
like
just,
I know the names.
wasn't enough.
Them, yeah. Like, there's
No,
a
exactly.
few. But it was still, even then, it was so lonely. It was so incredibly lonely. And plus, we were on Alliance side, which made basically doing anything harder. I mean, there were just so many reasons. I should actually introduce my own experience. Like, I used to play World of Warcraft a very, very, very long time ago. Like, many, many years. And then I recently came back just before their Shadowbringers... I swear people say that I do that intentionally. Shadowlands expansion. I swear that's not intentional. But I just came back just a few months before that, and then I unlocked Valkyria. I tried out Beast Mastery Hunter. I just tried out a whole bunch of different things. And then I experienced it, and then likewise I pretty much, in my mind, it was fun for the experience. I'm thankful for the experience. I am thankful for the knowledge it gave me. I'm thankful for... Well, I just said knowledge, but I mean, that's really why I'm thankful for it, because it's just like, we have so many players coming to Final Fantasy 14 from World of Warcraft, and I mean, honestly, even when I had like 200 subscribers, I had people say like, oh, I'm coming from World of Warcraft, like, explain Summoner, or explain this to me, and like, I have always had that lack of knowledge until recently about what is that, like, what's a feral druid? Like, it was like, oh, it turns into a cat?
Yeah, no, exactly. World of Warcraft has been such a dominant force in the MMO space and the gaming space now for literally almost 2 decades.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's not surprising that if someone comes over to Final Fantasy 14 or any other MMO, that game, that. Oh, I disconnected.
No, you're still here. You're still here. But yeah, just to like add on to that, it's just like when someone thinks about MMORPGs, they're immediately thinking World of Warcraft. It's just like Final Fantasy 14 is gaining a name, and it looks like he's reconnecting. So hello.
Oh, hello.
But basically anyone for decades now thinks of World of Warcraft when they think of MMORPGs or of like online gaming in general. It's just like, yeah, we've had some really big hits, like we've had PUBG, but it's just like, still, when you're talking about like, actually even more so my generation, like for me and Brendan, it's just like we are literally at the cutoff between like millennials and Zoomers, and it's just like I feel like us at like the Zoomery stance, it's just like I still feel like World of Warcraft holds a lot of like clout. Like, I don't know if you'd agree with me, but it's just like it seems to be like the name that comes to people's mind. It's just like, oh, you play games, like, do you play World of Warcraft? Like, that's what the normies, quote unquote normies, say. Like the non-gamers.
It's an absolute titan in the gaming sphere. It's the benchmark to which all MMORPGs are compared, for better or for worse.
Oh, absolutely. Like, and then every game that comes out is the quote-unquote WoW killer. And facts are facts. Like, nothing's going to kill WoW but itself. Or Ian's interview. I've never seen so many sprouts in Limsa.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's been crazy.
It's been insane.
Yeah, I mean, the other day, weren't you telling you took a screenshot of your screen? You had like a 40-person queue on a Wednesday at like 2 o'clock or something to get into the game. So.
Oh, it was something. But Gilgamesh has always been popular, but I'm just like, wow, this is like not even peak hours, and it's like a 40-person queue just to get into Gilgamesh. And it's like the patch has been out for like a while now. Like, it's been almost a month now, and it's like, it's not because of the patch hype. It's literally like There's just that many players, and it's like I come into Limsa and it's like, holy crap, like this is so many sprouts. But I do want to say, like, kind of to like reel the topic in, is why this video is exactly because like we have so many people coming from World of Warcraft, and I think that it cannot be overstated that so many people want to find their niche. They want to find their thing that they love from World of Warcraft and find their home in 14, which, like, I'm all for. Like, I felt the same when I played World of Warcraft. I was like, I'm trying to find something that feels like a scholar, or I'm trying to find something that really feels like a summoner. And for the record, that was really, really, really hard to do.
Well, the games are very different. The gameplay is
so
very
much.
different. There are
So
certain
much.
aspects, of specific classes or specific, MMO elements that are, obviously going to be similar, but honestly, they're very different games, and
And so this was a bit of a challenge, but me and like Name it have thought about it for like, I don't know, we've been at it for a good 2 hours just in the background taking notes and like thinking, because like I've played like basically, well, I have actually played every single healer. I've played almost every single tank. I have played a plethora of different DPS, and like when I said like I went to World of Warcraft to learn, that's literally the objective that I went into, and I think that I've really achieved that. So I bring a lot of experience, but he brings way more. Like, like he was a healing raid officer and all this, and so he knows a lot. So I'm just like, why not do like a podcast style video on this? And so likewise, we are going to try and do like relative timestamps, and there's going to be a little bit of structure because I know like some people are just going to be like, I don't care about Death Knights or Hunters or Demon Hunters, so I just want to like zip to like Holy Paladin. Totally good. So yeah, do you want to just... Actually, do you want me to guide this along with like what I have?
What do you want to start with? Yeah, you can start, or I can.
See,
if
I
was to
literally...
start with tanks.
I mean, people are gonna be so salty at me because I literally went through the Icy Veins DPS rankings tier list because I'm just like, where can I easily find a list of all of the specs so I don't forget any? And so I literally went to the DPS rankings tier list. So I'm saying we start off with Mage. And so I'm gonna just say my thoughts first, and we can like do it back and forth, I guess. But for me, honestly, when I think Mage, it's all of their equivalents are gonna be like Black Mage. It's gonna be... I'm just gonna be honest. When I think about Fire Mage, Frost Mage, Arcane Mage, I mean, you'd know more about Fire Mage because you literally played it for so many years and rated on it, but when I played Mage myself, generally speaking, it had long cast times with calculated movements, and Fire Mage does have a lot more flexibility, like they have that hot hand or something, like, but Black Mage, in my opinion, is quintessentially massive, massive, massive spikes of damage. You have that long cast time, and you need to think about where you're going to move and how you're going to move, and like combine with cooldown. So to me, it's a 1-to-1 to Black Mage.
Yeah, no, more or less. Like basically, what you want to do, it doesn't matter what mage spec you're playing. With Fire Mage, you have a little bit more mobility, right? Because you do have things that proc instant cast Power Blasts, which is like one of your main damaging spells.
Mm-hmm.
But but with that said, like
you kind of have that with Black Mage too, because Fire 4 procs. You kind of do have that too. You can get procs, but that's not all the time. But you do.
But yeah, the name of the game is just to sit there and cast as many spells as possible, basically, while moving as little as you can, while not getting smashed by mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
So that's true of Fire Mage. That's true of any caster. But yeah, honestly, in WoW, the only like two classes that I would say are pure casters are probably they just cast spells constantly for like big damage spikes. It'd be like Destruction Warlock, or Mage. So those two are very similar to the Black Mage.
Actually, even Demo, when I tried it, was very, very turrety. Very turrety. But it's very different than Black Mage, but we'll get there.
Yeah, that one has a bunch of pets, so it would be quite different.
It's really complicated on that one. It took a lot of thinking when I was writing my notes. But I don't know, that's what I have to say for Mage. Easily Black Mage. I mean, Mage goes Black Mage. Surprise.
That's one of the easier ones.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go into Death Knight? That's my next one. I'm just following the tier list and going down on my notes.
No, absolutely. So for Death Knight, I said Dark Knight. I mean, thematically, that's just obvious. It has to be a Dark Knight. I guess
thematically, yes.
In World of Warcraft, you have more healing.
Thematically, yes, but I'm going to disagree.
Really? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you just have more healing with your Death Knight in World of Warcraft, whereas in Final Fantasy with your Dark Knight, it's more just pure mitigation, and also you have like barriers from the Darkest Night, for example.
Which I'm gonna agree. Like thematically, like if you're going to be like edgy and stuff, like yeah, Death Knight to like Dark Knight, like definitely that. But for me, when I look at the different specs, so when I think Blood Decay, I think Blood Decay is all about health recovery. And I say this because I healed them and it made me scream sometimes because it's like, oh my god, their HP went down. Oh my god, they just recovered. Oh my god, down. Oh my god. It's very spiky. And they also have solid DPS. Like, personal DPS is very strong on the Blood Decay. In fact, before the expansion launched, people were like, Blood Decay is absolutely going to be the meta healer for any keys because it brings so much personal DPS. And so my recommendation actually isn't Dark Knight, it's actually Warrior, because Warrior with its insane self-healing and self-sustain, it's so much self-healing. To me, that is instantly what comes to mind for Blood Decay, because it gives me the same feeling when I'm healing a Warrior as a Blood Decay. It's just like they take a spike of damage, which gives me a heart attack, and then they recover up their HP, and I'm like, oh, thank God you did that.
Yeah, but Warriors and honestly Restoration, like Guardian Druids also have very significant healing, so it's kind of difficult to based on that. So I was kind of just going more based on the class fantasy, because honestly, every single tank right now in World of Warcraft has quite a bit of self-healing.
Oh yeah, all of them do,
yeah,
but when I think about it,
has
quintessentially it's Blood Decay.
Yeah, Blood Decay definitely has more, but they all do now. That's a fundamental part of all of them. Like, so
I mean, yeah, but I mean, then I look at Protection Warrior and I'm like, no. I mean even Holy Paladin has healing, obviously, but it's a different type of healing. It's like, you don't really heal through damage, whereas it's like Blood Decay is all about that.
Actually, better check if they even have Enraged Region anymore. I haven't played directly played like a Prot Warrior for like...
See, I haven't played too much of it, but like quintessentially, like the Blood Decay fantasy is like, I will take super spiky damage and I will scare the heck out of the healer, but I will recover my own HP and only worry about me when I don't have like a blue bar or something on the UI. Like, it was something like that. It was very that. But I'm glad that you're disagreeing with me, because it's a very boring podcast if we just agree.
I can't remember what the bloody Warrior healing ability is now.
You have Nascent Flash, you have oh my god, I know the names of them. You have Thrill of Battle, you have Equilibrium, you have a few different options. And like Nascent Flash is on like a 25-second cooldown timer. Like, it is super strong. Also, Storm's Path recovers HP too.
Okay,
super good options.
Yeah, tons. So what would you say a Paladin is, though? Like, literally, like, Paladin. They can self-heal.
Paladin's a Paladin.
Yeah, exactly.
But we haven't gotten there yet. But you see, Blood Decay does like their healing to themselves in a different way. Whereas it's just like Paladin is using like World of Warcraft Paladin is very obviously spending their holy gauge or like holy power so that they can use like Word of Glory or something on themselves, whatever their heal's called. I think it's Word of Glory, and then they burst themselves up. It's literally like Clemency. It's just like you are literally giving up MP to use Clemency on yourself in 14, but in World of Warcraft you're giving up Holy Power and using Word of Glory on yourself rather than like the Shield Bash, I think. It's like a Shield Bash in front of them. It's like Shield of the Righteous or something, and it deals AoE and damage in front of them. It's super strong, but that's the analog. That is the most similar, but we're getting ahead. We're talking about Paladins at this point, really?
Well, I just thought we'd go through all the tanks. I mean, okay, what do you want to do next?
Oh, I was just going through the tier list. We're not done with DK yet, though. Yes. Because Unholy DK is where things get a bit harder to say, because until we see classes at the May Fan Fest, ooh, people are gonna hate me in the comments for this, but you know what? I'm gonna say it. The new Dirge or Scythe or whatever the new class name is gonna be for the new melee DPS is likely to be your shoe-in if it's Unholy DK. Unholy DK, in my mind, is all about damage over time effects and pets close up and doing it up close and personal with the pets. And I do know that this is what people are going to hate me in the comments. Like, I probably already have people zipping there saying that I'm wrong and bad to say speculation. And it is speculation to say what I'm about to say. Like, we will know in like 2 weeks' time, a little over 2 weeks' time. But it's like everything we are hearing about this new melee DPS is it's pointing to like a Type 0 Cease character, which, I mean, video coming up on that real soon, and she uses a massive scythe, and she builds up resources and expends them on huge abilities. But there's nothing to say in Final Fantasy XIV. With Scythe classes, we have seen them using pets before. So there's no reason why you couldn't have like a build up a gauge, something like we have on the Machinist right now with Bob, and then they build up this gauge and then they pop it on summoning minions. Like there's nothing stopping that. Like it might not literally be called 1-to-1 Necromancer, but everything is pointing towards a Scythe-based melee DPS class that has a massive builder and a finisher that is somehow death related. So Pestilence, Disease, summoning things, necromancy, that is it. That we have literally basically been told this. We have not explicitly seen it yet. Like FanFest is obviously like 2 weeks away, but we are literally so close to that edge that it's just like, I think Unholy DK players should keep their eyes peeled for the May FanFest and see what the melee DPS is. Like, outside of that, though, outside of that speculation, it's much harder because Dragoon, Monk, Ninja, Samurai, we don't have anything that's really pet and dot based as a melee DPS. It's like Samurai has huge dots. Absolutely, Samurai has a huge dot. Dragoon has a dot in their kit. But it's like, there's nothing that's really Pestilence based. Like, do you see what I'm saying with that, or?
Exactly. Thematically, there's nothing that's similar to a Holy Death Knight. I also there's nothing that really does huge AoE with dots. So like, honestly,
it used to be
amazing.
Scholar and Summoner. They might be going back to that in Endwalker, but I'm scared to say anything. Like,
yeah, but those aren't melee classes.
No, those are not melee. No. The closest thing we have to an AoE damage over time is like Ninja places something on the ground with their mudras. Like that's just a specific ninjutsu. That's the closest thing you probably have. Because I'm thinking, like, there should be nothing else, I don't think. Because even Hingan Bana, which is, like, I know people are going to type in the comments, like, oh my god, what? But that's just the damage over time effect of the Samurai. That's not AoE, that's, like, literally single target. And that is one of the heaviest hitting dots in the game. Like, huge damage if you pair that up with cooldowns, but that's not an AoE. Absolutely not. And, like, when I think of, like, Unholy DK, it's like, what's making them over the top right now? It's like their massive AoE potential with Pestilence. It's just like, I can't even remember what it's called, but it's like what allows them to hit multiple targets over and over. It makes them super strong. But yeah, that's all I kind of have on that one. That one, yeah.
Yeah, like, honestly, for that, I would just looked at it and I'm like, well, there's nothing really even similar. Mm-hmm. It's melee, but it's spreading like AoE dots, so it's just something that doesn't exist in 14.
So do you want to...
Yeah, so next we have Balance Druid, and like honestly, Balance Druid is another.
Oh, did you zip down to my notes? I went to Guardian Druid. Okay, I will let you do it.
Balance is number 3 now.
Balance is number 3. Oh, you're following the tier list too. Yeah, but I just started with Druid. I went just for the general classes. Can I go Guardian Druid? Because this is something I am passionate about. So, like, Druid is well, you're passionate about it too. It's just like we both played Druid. It was like the stupidest thing. You had like these two literal like Druids just like catting it up everywhere. It was so stupid.
Oh, absolutely, it was great.
It was like, man, it was so stupid. I loved it. We have nothing like cats in like 14. It's I love that. That was so stupid. It was so fun. But a Druid, something me and like him have both played extensively. And so first off, let's go off of Guardian Druid, which is something I definitely liked. I can easily say for Guardian Druid, it was the most satisfying tank for me to play as a Final Fantasy XIV player that went to WoW. So honestly, any tank in 14 will fit you, because to me as a 14 player, I went to play WoW, and it was just like, it uses mitigation, so much mitigation, and it has some self-healing baked into the kit. Combine the new legendary with bark skin and talents, and you have a tank that is putting out basically constant Rampart, which, as I've said many times in all my tank guide videos, Rampart is the workhorse of the tank role in Final Fantasy XIV, and it's like you constantly have that mitigation up as a Guardian Druid. It is so good. And so honestly, any tank in 14 would work well in my opinion. Any of them. I mean, yes, it does have a lot of self-preservation, as does other tanks. Like Gunbreaker has Aurora. That is a powerful self-heal. Or like Paladin with Clemency. Warrior with Nascent Flash. But I think Warrior is much more akin to like a Blood Death Knight. But mind you, you do get that mitigation to some on Warrior, but not as much. And so I definitely think that someone would be really at home on any tanks from Guardian Druid. What are your thoughts on that?
True. I would kind of just be like, play Dark Knight because, you know, the Blackest Knight is amazing. It gives you a giant shield, and I love healing them. I don't.
Oh, I'm gonna talk about that for Brewmaster. Like, don't think I forgot about that.
Yes, okay.
No, don't think I forgot about that.
Guardian Druid was just fun. I just really enjoyed it. Like, what's not fun about being some gigantic bear and just having tons of health and mitigation?
Swole bear.
Yeah, which by the way, because that was like gated behind the Mage Tower, and I didn't.
Okay, I'm so bitter about that because when I started playing, I saw Swole Bear and other players playing it, and I'm like, why can't I play Swole Bear? And I mean, it might sound petty. Okay, someone's gonna clock me as being like petty, but you know what? I wanted to play as Swole Bear. That was cool. It's just like, you know what? I bodybuilded for 5 years, and I'm about to get back into it after this ridiculous 2020 to 2021 fiasco that I refuse to even name anymore. Like, I'm gonna get back to it, and I saw that Swole Bear, and I'm like, that is me! It drove me crazy.
You want to be some werebear with giant arms? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's both you and me because we like worked out, and so it's just like we saw Swole Bear, and I'm just like, why can't I be this? Why can't I be this? Instead, I need to be like this amorphous blob. Okay, that is the one fault. But we're talking about like players from WoW 2.14. Oh, I'm so salty about that, but I feel so petty, but it's just like that is actually a genuine criticism I have. It's just like, why do I have to look like a blob? Like let me have the Mage Tower skins. It's just like, why are old players of WoW so insecure about new players having a stupid cosmetic skin on their bear? I don't get it. It's just like, it's like me. It's like I don't spend all day every day going, new players shouldn't have any of the old relic weapons. Oh my god, those relic weapons were from a Realm Reborn. Smack it out of Sprout's hand. How dare you look at them? Smacks the Sprout. How dare you? Smacks the other Sprout. Smacks that. How dare you? Yeah, I've grinded all those tomes for that in a Realm Reborn. Like, I just don't get the mentality. Like, I saw Swole Bear and I'm salty.
Yeah, I do think it's pretty lame that you can't get it. In my opinion, it was the coolest. It is
the coolest. I mean, I like it. I saw it and I'm like, how do I get this? That is actually one of the things that I was like I was grinding like the Druid quest and that for it, and then it's like, oh, you can't get it, and I'm like, yeah. Well, what's the point? it actually was a salty point.
Cool, but I guess it's just a design decision, right? I guess people didn't play.
Well, I mean, we all saw the Ian interview. I mean, the Ian Hazakostas interview, like that guy's like the world WoW dev lead or something like that. Like, it just indicated that it's just like, you know what, you have such a fundamental disconnect from your players that you are literally filling Limsa Lominsa on Gilgamesh with sprouts. And it's like, I'm not even just saying that. Like, it's like, I go to Limsa Lominsa. Like, we were just there last night, and I told you, oh my god, there's like 15 sprouts literally just here, or something like that. I didn't say that. Maybe it was something like that, but there were just so many sprouts, like, everywhere on Gilgamesh. And I'm like, this is crazy. But, I mean, whatever. I mean, they're gonna design their game how they want to do it. I personally quit, but we're going off on a thing. I don't wanna talk about that no more. That's negative. I've moved on.
I've moved on to 14. It's a game that I am enjoying now. You know, I've played WoW for so long, and to be quite frank with you, it was enough. You can only have enough vanilla ice cream.
You can only have enough. No, I don't even want to call it vanilla ice cream. Does that vanilla ice cream have like capsaicin, like hot sauce in it? Like playing WoW was like, it was honestly like a bad relationship. It was a bad relationship in the months that I played it. It was just like, we're gonna give you barely any anima. We're gonna make it so that you have to grind world quests for hours a day. We're gonna make the raiding community like extremely exclusive and stuff, and we're gonna make it so that people literally disclude you because we don't have proper balance of classes. It's just like, I've gone over FF logs and compared it to World of Warcraft logs, and it's like the top DPS. Like, let me pull it up even right now. Warcraftlogs.com. I'm literally pulling it up right now. I'm not going to bother editing it into the video because anyone can look it up. It's just like, whatever. But it's like Fire Mage. Okay, those are normalized. I want to look at per second amounts because I feel like people can relate to that more. Oh, that's Mythic Plus Dungeons. That doesn't really count. Actually, you know what that does? So, Mythic Plus Dungeons goes off of a points system on Warcraft logs. And so the top is Fire Mage, and their max right now is 442.94. So that's 443. I'm just rounding it up by literally 0.06. And that's literally me reading it off right now. And then their lowest is Arms Warrior at 329.76. So you are over 110 points lower when you are picking a different spec. Make it make sense. You can't. And so what you experience is people literally just... No, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole. That's not the point of this video. I'm just... Oh, God. You should talk about Resto.
You know what? If you're a World of Warcraft player and you're looking for what you want to play in 14, all the classes are balanced in such a way so they all...
Yes, okay, that is how we can make it a good...
You can literally play any class that you want.
Yeah.
In the end game.
Okay, I'm going to pull up Savage statistics. So Savages are raids.
Really have to worry too much about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm pulling up Savage stats right now. So here's how much closer balanced our stuff is. And Savage is like Savage rating. It's like our equivalent of like Mythic rating, I guess. Well, we have Ultimate fights that are even harder than Savage rating. I mean, it's much harder than Heroic. I did Heroic clears, like, it's much harder than them for sure. But, so our top DPS, our absolute max top DPS is Samurai. And so Samurai is at 25,327. So that's just over 25,000. And so our worst DPS is Dancer at 23.71070. And that's just me pulling up the numbers right now, right in front of me. And so we have a difference of like literally, what is that? I want to actually calculate it out so that I don't like say something stupid that's wrong. So I'm just gonna subtract the one number from that. Like, it's nothing advanced. I just want to use like a Google calculator for it because I don't want to mess it up. Okay, so it's literally a touch above 1.5 thousand. And so really when we're talking about 1.5 thousand difference between Dancer and Samurai, that's our top DPS versus our lowest. Those are so incredibly close. Especially, like, it's like you can pick anything you want in Final Fantasy XIV, and if your group is failing to clear it, generally speaking, it is because someone is dying, someone messed up a mechanic, you had too many damage down debuffs. Like, I have cleared Savage fights with, like, 5 people dead, like, or more. Like, sometimes it's been a disaster, but we still cleared, like... Versus WoW, you can play whatever you want. It is really what the WoW devs say of, like, take the player, not the class. But it's really... takes player, not the class. Sorry, is that shady? Okay, I'm getting shady. You can tell there's a little salt there, sorry.
No, it's certainly true, though, that the balance problems that exist in WoW don't exist in Final
There's a
Fantasy
reason why I quit. There's a reason why I quit. And it's because I'm so annoyed. Because, like... I mean, just as a little bit of history, like, this is not the video for it, so I'm going to be super short. I literally started, and I was going to do, like, Resto Druid. I mean, Brendan was Resto Druid, so I'm just like, okay, I cannot do that. And so I'm just like, okay, I'll, like, bitterly go Balance Druid. I did not enjoy it. It was, like, a more boring summoner to me. I mean, people are going to absolutely hate on me in the comments, but I'm just trying to be as genuine as I can. It was, like, a more boring summoner to me. It had its phases, it was... I didn't like it. It was not for me, I'll put it that way. And so I tried different things like Shadow Priest. That was fine, it didn't really click. But what I really wanted was something like original and new from that. And so I tried Beast Mastery Hunter. And it has recently improved. Like, let me pull up the logs right now. Yeah, it's not the worst DPS in the game right now. It is just very close to being the worst DPS class in the game right now. And so it was like Mythic Plus groups, raids, all of that stuff. It was like, I can't really play. I mean, I can objectively, but it's like, how much harder are things? It's like, I instantly regretted not just wanting to play Fire Mage, which I tried and it wasn't for me. So, but there's the history.
Or you could just be like me and just like love Fire Mage or Resto Druid.
Yeah, it must be nice.
It's great. But
actually, we're segueing now into Resto Druid.
Sure, you can segue into that, and honestly, there's no equivalent to that in Final Fantasy XIV, because that healer is entirely based on heal over time effects. Do you agree? What do you think?
I agree, because I liked Cat Weaving Resto Druid. I did not like Balance Weaving Resto Druid. Balance Weaving Resto Druid did play close to White Mage, because it's like, you apply Hearts, and then you cast Stone. Like, you cast your bursty spells. That's the closest thing you have. Like, we do not have anything like Cat Weaving, and I have to say, like, in my opinion, if I ever go back to WoW, which who knows, I might, like at like 9.3, who knows? Apparently that's when it's good. Like, do you agree, Brendan, or not? Like 0.3 patches are when you really come back.
Honestly, it would just depend if like some of my like friends start playing it again. Then maybe I would.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not gonna play it. Just for the game.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. It's just like I've seen all that I need to see. I've seen enough that I feel like I've learned a lot, but I think that chapter is comfortably closed. I feel like I've seen enough, but there's definitely not anything like cat weaving. I did enjoy that. That's one thing I will say is the gameplay of Resto Druid was so unique. It's like you applied preemptively, proactive. So it was a healer that was proactive, but without shields. And then you go into cat weaving, and then you just rawr people down. It felt so good. It actually felt so good.
For those who don't know, basically how you do it is like you could contribute DPS, to whatever group you were doing. So if you're doing like a dungeon, you basically just put heal over time effects on the whole party, and then you turn into like your cat form, and then you just go up to the enemies and just bite them and apply like damage over time effects and build up like what's called combo points, and then you can do like finishers and actually do pretty decent damage as it.
You're doing the most boring way of describing it. Like I remember that you were just like, "What this?" You went. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when I'm playing, I'm just like cat form. Rawr!
Yeah, exactly. I'm just like he's not giving me that same passion. Let's see. It was fun though.
Look, talking about WoW is depressing for me now.
It is. Okay, let's move on then from that. But I liked Resto Druid. That's something that I can look back on. Like I loved actually Druid as a whole. I liked so many aspects of like Guardian Druid was a win. Resto Druid was a win. We're gonna talk about Feral and other soon, but yeah, that's kind of how I was at. Like, I'd say White Mage is your closest, but we don't really have anything. I mean, if you like Owl Weaving Resto Druid, you might really find yourself at home with White Mage, but if you're Cat Weaving Resto Druid, nothing's like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. You could maybe find some things, but it's very different. So
yeah, exactly, it's so different. All right, so what do we have next on our list here?
So what I have next is Feral Druid. So Feral Druid is something that I did kind of enjoy. I liked it more when I was cat weaving as a restoration druid. Feral Druid, I find Feral Druid, it's all about being fast, it's about being stealthy, it's about inflicting tons of damage over time effects, and then doing a combo finisher, really. To me, the closest that you can get is Ninja. Just because you have rapid speed, you have movement abilities, you have the stealth, you have super solid finishers. It's not really big, the Ninja, on damage over time effects, which I know is a huge appeal to Feral Druid players, but I'd say that's the closest. How about you?
Yeah, I'd agree. Honestly, like, yeah, like you can stealth, you have strong melee attacks, you build up dots. It's fun, but like, I don't know. I've just never been good at Feral, so like I don't even really like. I've played it a couple times, but I've just never really been good at that spec. So
yeah, I liked it, but I thought that it was funner when I had like Resto Druid to do also more tasks. Like when it was just Feral on its own, I was like, it's okay, it's good, like it's fun. Like if I had to like put it on like a top 5 list, it would be there, but it was good.
Yeah. So I honestly, it just comes back to the balance. I'd always play Boomkin because it was better, so that's balanced.
Oh yeah, and we're about to get into that exactly.
But we can move on. Yeah.
See, yeah, for me, Balanced Druid. Oh, Balanced Druid. For me, this is hard. It's because when I play Balanced Druid, it's like Starfall, bonkers amounts of area effect damage with tons of utility, and it's a caster, which I thought I'd like. I did not, however, like its core rotation. Right now, I'm just going to be honest, if we're talking about just like AoE damage and utility, there isn't a spec that genuinely brings the same utility as Balanced Druid as a DPS. Like in the Mythic Plus dungeon as a Balanced Druid, you're bringing trees to help reduce pressure on tanks and healers, which is invaluable in certain affix weeks like you have Necrotic, and that's irreplaceable. Like during a Necrotic week, a Balanced Druid doing that is like, that resets absolutely. The stacks on the tank. That's huge.
It's huge, yeah, because they literally will get these stacks on them, for those who don't know, that make them so they're like unhealable, and they have to like run away from like the mob to give it time to fall off.
It's infuriating.
Because if the mob hits them, it'll reapply it, and then they can't be healed. So you could like summon these, like, they're called treants, and they're like trees, and they like taunt the mob, and then it lets your tank get away to drop that stack, which is incredible.
It's huge.
And that combined with a very strong both single target and AoE damage, and also the ability to resurrect players that Balanced Druid brings to the table, made it very strong.
And the displacement Typhoon and Ursoc's Vortex.
Exactly.
Ursol's Vortex.
You can see if you agree for like, I would say it's kind of like a red mage, just because
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Healing, and it can also resurrect.
As well as red mage is like AoE is not anything to like, what is it, like snort at or whatever. Like, and plus, like, when I think Balanced Druid, I also think my ability to jump back, my ability to go into cat form or deer form and leap forward or leap back, or very mobile, very, very mobile. And red mage is very mobile. It's like you have the ability to dash in, to backflip out. You have the ability every second GCD, because you have to hard cast the first one, then you get double cast, and then you're moving to the second one. That is absolutely very mobile. And so to me, that's irreplaceable like that. But also when, how to say it, like, red mage has battle res, but battle res on like steroids. It is so good. And can red mage carry a team with a poor healer? When we're talking about battle revive and like spamming it with dual cast revive, absolutely. Our hands down. A party without a revive, like, so let's say that you're in a party with like a black mage, you're in a party with a monk, dragoon, and ninja, or something like that, or a machinist. It's like, then you only have the 2 healers that can revive. If someone dies, the 2 healers have to do that. But what happens if both healers die? What happens if Swiftcast is down on one of the healers? Well, now you're kind of SOL. You're out of luck. Like, you don't know what to do.
You can save your butt. That's why whenever I make a party, to farm something, I always try to make sure that I have a red mage.
Same. And people hate me for it. They're just like, why in a farm party do you need this? But it's just like, do you know what sucks? And I say this as someone that now has the land waffle and has now been helping you get it, and we've just been grinding that. It's like, it sucks when you literally get to a step where it's like one more revive, because like both healers blew their swift cast. And I mean, when you're pugging, this is the thing, like when we're making our groups, we need to think about, we are currently in a pug group. I am not with my static where I know how these players play. I'm with pugs. I'm with people that mess up flood rate. I'm with people that don't take the flares away. That you remember the tanks that stand on the team with the flare?
Hey, Cole, be nice. Basic math is hard, okay?
I mean,
2 is 8.
Oh god, that Evyx raid boss. Man,
yes, exactly.
Man, I sound like I'm ranting. I'm not angry about it, but it's just like when I make my party finders, I do put red mage in there. I love it because it's just like what they bring to the table is irreplaceable. It is so powerful. It's just like, I mean, yeah, you can take a summoner, but I mean, a summoner will have the swift cast revive problem too. And I mean, will I take a summoner? Absolutely. But it's just like, I get so many whispers hating on me for it, and it's just like, bar none, red mage is basically a mandatory slot in any group I do. And it's just like, let's say that I was like doing a static. Okay, then I'm totally open to take summoner. But that's the difference. It's like when I'm doing a PF party and like doing diamond or doing emerald before or whatever, or like Seed of Sacrifice. Do you know what sucks is I'm thinking Seed of Sacrifice and we'd get to the second phase. So the third phase, I mean. So we'd do the basic first phase, no problem. We'd do the ads phase and get through that with the meteors and all that. And then we get to third phase and then we'd have like the Bahamut spawn as a mechanic. And then we'd wipe then. And then I'm just like, oh my god, a red mage literally could have changed this entire thing. And so when I think about utility, it's just like instantly red mage. Instantly. It is bar none the class that I personally want 100% of the time in any pugged group. Not necessarily in a static, but in a pugged group, I'm incredibly biased. And I know I am. And I like it because it works.
Honestly, if you have a class that can just spam res, that's objectively strong.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone's gonna want that.
And it's not a slouch in DPS like we were just talking about. Like, it is not even the worst DPS, and it is very competitive. It's just like, there is no reason why a red mage played properly cannot outdamage a samurai. Like, objectively, when you look at FF logs, that is a thing. I don't know, I like red mage. I am a huge fan. It's just like right now, if I had to start everything from scratch, completely brand new, I would probably start red mage. if that
Agreed,
was from bare
It's my
bone.
favorite DPS, honestly. I love playing casters.
It's
It's
oh
my
yeah,
favorite
it also
support
feels
team.
really good. Like I enjoy it. Like as soon as it was launched as Stormblood, I'm like, this is literally my favorite caster for like a good period of time.
Oh, and
It's
I can
like
move on
yeah.
junk. It's great.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's just like the mobility. It's like the backflip, the front forward. It's just like so it's easily my number one suggested DPS, like easily. And it's just like people are gonna be like, why are you so biased? And I'm just like, I'm biased because it works. At the end of the day, I'm not there to be fancy. At the end of the day, I don't even care about my parses. Like I really just don't. It's like sure, if I get a 99 parse in like Emerald Weapon on like Machinist and like Bard, like I'm gonna feel cool about it. But it's just like I don't care. Like it's just like I pug 90% of 14.
Yeah, no,
I don't
exactly.
care.
I just want the clears. I just want
Yeah, I
those
just
clears
want
so
the
I can get
clear.
that
I just want the mount. And I mean, I achieved that, and so I feel good. Like I'm basic. I'm really basic.
You got your giant land waffle. Now you
I
can,
love the land waffle.
yes,
It makes
now
me
you
so
can walk
happy.
by all the housing plots and stand in the middle and make them stare at you.
Oh my god. And it's just like you stand away from the signs and still people whisper you, accusing you of like standing on the sign. I'm like, what? I'm so far away. And like you even saw how far away I was. It's like
Yeah,
I'm
no,
nowhere
that was
close.
that was some straight up land waffle saltiness there.
Yeah,
Some
I was like
jealousy.
literally like so far away. Like I literally may as well have been like on like the empty like red square of the house. Like it's just like
Oh,
what? It's like
yeah,
how do
she
you
couldn't
get that?
handle
It's
it.
just like where are you spamming your macro, sir slash ma'am? Like it's just like where are you spamming your macro or slash other of course. Like gotta remember like the non-binaries like love for everyone.
yeah.
Seriously.
Oh, of course.
But
yeah.
it's just like if you're spamming your macro and you somehow have my land waffle like 20 yalms away in your thing, it's like, girl, what the heck are you doing with your macro? I don't know. Like people are using add-ons and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, people. And for the record, I even have objective video evidence of how I got my house. Girl, ain't nobody need a macro for a large. But anyhow, we are going on a tangent. I totally want to do a housing video with you though. Like I am so passionate about that,
Do
especially
you
with.
want to talk about this, or should I just rant about how annoying the housing system is? Because I've been trying to get a house for the. I could do that. For
Let's
like
finish
40
this
minutes.
because I really do think
feel
that
like we
this
should
video
be
will
on.
help people. I really do.
Oh, okay. I think so.
So let's talk about Warlock next. And so, what are your thoughts on Warlock?
Dots, dots, and dots, baby. It's kind of similar to a summoner, honestly, because like summoner has a couple dots. You know,
That's
it has,
Affliction Warlock, though.
pets.
It's not so much the other two.
Well, you got your pet, you got your dots, so that feels kind of like an Affliction Warlock. An Affliction Warlock has more dots than a summoner, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's the only thing that's like a caster that has pets in WoW.
See,
would be,
that's
like,
my
a
problem.
Warlock.
Yeah, that's
Like
absolutely
a
my
Frost
problem.
Mage can have the ice elemental, but like that's really not a significant part of it.
Well, I was wanting to
They
check out
give it
Frost
up
Mage,
for
and I
just
learned
damage
that they
damage,
need to
you know?
apparently dispel it for more damage, and I'm like,
They do, yeah.
that's so sad. Like, I want the pet if I played Frost, so I never picked it up. But Warlock, honestly, the three specs, and anyone who's played Warlock is obviously going to be like, well, yeah, of course the three specs play different, but just for anyone who isn't like super familiar, is Warlock has Affliction Warlock. That is like 7 different dots, especially if you take like the Curing class Covenant ability, and then they like pop Malefic Rapture. That would feel specifically with Malefic Rapture. We have a direct analog of that ability in Fester for the Summoner. Exact same idea. Exact same idea. But where things get more dicey is like Destruction Warlock summons big infernals. They love their big infernals. And then they have like Chaos Bolt. Like that is, and then they have like Rain of Green Fire ability that I forget the name of. And it's like super powerful. Maybe it is Rain of Fire. Oops. But it's just like they do that and then they summon the infernals. And I'm like, okay, so you want big pet payoff. And then I'm just like, okay, well, summon Bahamut, summon Phoenix, Summoner. Oh yeah, so like we have 2 out of 3 as Summoner, and then when we're talking about Demonology Warlock, we don't really have anything that is like a minion master. Maybe our new melee DPS will be like that. Currently, all speculation is leading to it having some kind of pet finisher, but that's all I can really say on that right now. But what?
So while we're talking about like pets, why don't
Yeah.
we go to the other class that has pets?
Oh, we will get that right next, but basically, like, I want to finish off, like, pets, minion master, your closest bet is summoner. Just because you have like the edgy like assault abilities, like you have the edgy assault 1, you have the edgy assault 2, you have the enkindle, you have just the different commands to Phoenix. You would feel probably more at home on summoner, but again, it is such a different class than Demo Warlock, because I wanted to play Demo Warlock, and it was like you had pets, but it was more like the pets were just tools for you. It's like you'd summon the like general demon, then you'd summon these other demons, you'd blow up your imps. Like it was very different than summoner. Like it like pets were a core part of your thing, but it wasn't like pet, if that makes sense. Would you agree? I don't know.
Yeah, like honestly, I haven't played a lot of demo for years. Last time I played that was probably like in Cataclysm, so many years ago, and the spec was very different.
Yeah.
But yeah, like honestly, it's the only caster that has pets, so that's kind of
yeah. I'd say definitely summoner.
That has to be a summoner.
Yeah, I'd say definitely summoner. So this brings us to Hunter. So Hunter, Beastmaster Hunter, as I said before, is something that I really liked and I actually enjoyed. It was different. It was something we don't have in 14. It was fun. It was, I mean, people are gonna be like, you're trash, you found Beastmaster Hunter fun. Okay, shush, I did, okay? Like, even Aspreaded, like, did I find Beastmaster Hunter fun?
Yeah, he did. He liked
yeah,
it.
I actually liked Beastmaster Hunter. It was different, okay? And you could have, like, the different pets. I mean, how many times was I just like, oh, my Akiri gonna get you in PvP? As I, like, have that, like, you remember the Akiri? The thing with, like, the brain thing that would just be like,
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, I loved that. I was such a fan of Beastmaster Hunter. Or, like, we'd have Elegon pet, or we'd have the Haiti pet. Like, the literal, like, electric wolf thing. Like, I loved Beastmaster Hunter. It was so fun to me because we have nothing like that in 14. But it is literally, even now, it was literally at, like, the bottom of the tier list for a long while. But it has changed. It is, like, 2 or 3 or something slots above the bottom. It is still a complete dumpster fire in WoW, where it's just, like, it's just, like, it comes to the question where it's just like, who's gonna take a Beastmaster Hunter to plus 16k?
I mean, it just depends. Like, honestly, if you have some guy who's got like full mythic gear and he's like,
oh, I mean, yeah, if he's absolutely heads over tail better than someone else, but I mean, if you had the equivalent on like Fire Mage or Sub Rogue, like where's Sub Rogue on the Warcraft logs? Sub Rogue is right there with Beastmaster. That was a poor example. I'm thinking Outlaw Rogue. Yeah. Outlaw Rogue right at the top with fire. Yeah, Sub Rogue's not doing well either. Like, Sub Rogue, along with Mistweaver, along with Demo, Beastmaster's just right there. It's just the neglect, honestly. The utter neglect of the developers. Like, this is just sad. Whatever. I'm not going to go on that tangent again, but like, I loved Beastmaster Hunter, but this is where, like, getting a suggestion is a little tricky. Because we have parts of Beastmaster Hunter, but we don't have anything consistent. It's like Barbed Shot is something that comes to mind. That was a constant damage over time effect that I had to keep up. Like, getting and maintaining 3 stacks of that was so important. As well as the fact that Beastmaster Hunter, when it comes to why you'd pick one, like, I mean, if its damage wasn't absolutely in the gutter, is it was fully mobile range DPS. That was very unique. Things like Fire Mage, things like Balanced Druid. It's like, even Balanced Druid does have mobility options, but it's nowhere close to as mobile as Beastmaster Hunter. So it's just like, instantly, my recommendation, if you're like wanting fully mobile and the dot effect, it's Bard. Easily. But when you're talking about pet interactions, it's like, my only real option for you is Summoner. And Summoner is still very mobile, but it's not anywhere close. Like, if you're expecting Summoner to be as mobile, you're going to be bitterly, painfully, agonizingly disappointed. It's like, you need to be casting Ruin a lot. Like, Ruin 3 is like, that is a core part of your rotation. You cannot get away with spamming Ruin 2s and Ruin 4s. You can't.
So that's why I would say that, like, basically Beastmaster doesn't exist in Final Fantasy.
It basically doesn't.
It just doesn't.
It's
like,
just
the
like,
Summoner is more like a Warlock. You sit there and you have your pets.
It's just like, even if mobility is your goal, it's like maybe, and you want like a pseudo pet, maybe machinist because you summon your big omelet butler, but it's like, it's so, Beastmaster Hunter, one reason why I liked it is it's so different. It's like, I've played everything in Final Fantasy XIV into the ground and back. It's like, it was fresh. I'm like, oh wow, I like this. Because it was so different. Like, is this rotation that complex? No. I mean, Balance Druid's rotation isn't complex either, nor is Shadow Priest rotation being that complex. I mean, I literally did the Summoner Guide with like 80k views. Like, it's not that complex compared to 14, but it's like, it was different. I liked it. I liked it. I get it. I'm basic. I'm a basic bee. I know. I've never claimed to be anything but a basic bee.
You just like having your whole rotation on the mouse wheel. You know, it's simple. It's nice.
Meanwhile, me with the summoner.
I'm not sure if you can do that with Hunter anymore. To be fair, I was just being a bit of a jerk there.
maybe you could if you had like a Razor Naga. Like I just have a two forward back button on the side of my mouse. Like
apparently, like at a time like in the recent past though, you were able to do like just mouse wheel down, mouse wheel up, and like the press down mouse wheel button, and that would be like your whole rotation. For Beastmaster. I don't remember when that was, but there was a time.
See, I like Beastmaster Hunters. Screw you. I liked it. But on the other hand, I will say, aside from Beastmaster Hunter, Marksman Hunter. Okay, we gotta talk about Marksman Hunter. Machinist.
So
okay, we can move on. What?
Yeah. So like,
you killed my joke.
Say, like, okay, I was gonna say Marksman is gonna be Machinist and Bard.
I wouldn't say Bard. Like, because you're so direct, and with Bard, you're buffing allies so much.
I guess, but like at the end of the day, like the only thing that... Okay, so Hunter is the only physical range DPS. So fundamentally...
I mean, then you could say Dancer too, but I don't think... Like, when I think Marksman Hunter, I don't think Dancer. Like, I'm thinking Marksman Hunter, Machinist. That's why my joke was like, okay, Marksman Hunter, Machinist, let's move on. Because it's literally so... direct of an analogy. Why do you think Bard? Let's explore this. Why?
Simply just because you are a physical range DPS. Same thing with Dancer, but both of those buff a lot, so they're very different. They're very unique, and there's really no like support DPS class. That's just not something that exists in World of Warcraft.
Shadow Priest with Sons of the Twin Priestess and Night Fae. I'm joking. I mean, that's the closest thing you have in WoW.
I mean, there's nothing that's like commonly done though, or like commonly accepted.
Not really. I mean, doesn't Warrior have like Battle Cry or something? I don't know.
Well, what do you mean? But yeah, but there's no situation where like in Final Fantasy XIV, the Dancer will actually do like a lower DPS if you look at the raw numbers, but that's because its buffs are increasing the damage of another player.
Oh yeah, and then you get the raid DPS because you're buffing the entire raid, which makes Dancer super good.
Yeah, but there's no situation in WoW like that where you would bring someone and you go, okay, they're doing like objectively the lowest DPS on the meter, but that's okay because we know they're increasing everyone else's.
I mean, right now we're seeing that the best thing,
but you can't see it.
Yeah, I'd say the closest thing is like Holy Priest or like Disc Priest, because it's just like when I was looking at healers and like people ranking the healers, it's just like, okay, your Disc Priest is going to do like 1.2, 1.1k DPS, but they're
there though. The difference is in World of Warcraft, like outside of like very, very high mythic plus keys, like no one really cares about healer damage. Like maybe if you're in like the top tier mythic raiding guild, you might care about like your paladin.
Our plus 10 and above keys completely disagree with you. We were like, you were just like, shoot, your DPS is doing this, and then my PI on you when you were on your fire mage.
Well, I disagree. Just my experience in a raid is no one has ever commented about healer DPS. It's almost like a thing that doesn't matter. Whereas in 14, it's very important all the time, and people will comment about a healer not DPSing.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
raid, no one will ever bring that up, ever.
I mean, during our raids for our static, I will absolutely bring it up. It's just like, why is your DPS below this number? But I mean, I've done that with you already, but that's only because like I really want to like do Savage with you in our own static too. What?
Oh yes. It's because I'm garbage, right?
No, it's because everyone's garbage until they learn. I mean, heck, I have so much to learn still. It's just like, even when I do guide videos, I think like people think that I have this air of superiority, but it's just like, no, I'm like a work in progress. Like, I am always trying to improve and learn and grow. Like, I don't think that I've reached the apex of what I'm capable of in literally any domain of my life. Not software, not education, not anything. Like, it's like, I'm a constantly working to be better, but it's just like I kind of want to surround myself by people that are the same. It's just like because it's just
I
like I'm
think
thinking back to
constant
my
growth is the best
1x. What?
Constant growth is the best way to be. Like that's how
Mhm.
I believe you gotta live your life.
But heck, I'm
That's my
thinking back to my
philosophy.
1x, and I've talked to you about it, and it's just like they just didn't want to advance further in their life. They were just very complacent where they were, and they were in a fine spot before anyone's just like, oh, like shading. Like they were in a fine spot, but it was so toxic to me because it's just like I was proposing my own business ideas, and I had like $70,000 or so. Well, details don't matter. But basically, I was just proposing my own business ideas with like my own business contracts and my own things in my own little software thing, and he was whacking it down saying, oh my god, you're scaring me, and I was like, what? Or like when I was like bringing robotics home, he'd be like, oh my god, that's not going on my floor, you're gonna ruin my floor, no, you're not allowed to do that. And it was just like I think that it's so important for someone to be open to like learning and growing, and it's just like, or at least that's who I want to surround myself with, because it's like I haven't reached the apex of what I want to do, and I haven't achieved everything I want to do, and there is so much that I can do, and it's like I'm still so young. It's just like I got one of my questions for like my AMA that I've already read is like, how old am I? Like I'm literally in my 20s. Like I have the rest of my life to live, and I have so much to do, and so it's just like, have I reached like perfection? It's like, absolutely heck no. What are you singing?
That's you got so much life to live, so much love to give, right?
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. Sorry, that's one thing. It's like he's on like camera, and it's just like I can see him like singing, and I'm like, what are you singing?
I don't know why I thought of that. I just thought it was funny.
Absolutely. This is why we need like a podcast with like pizza in front of us, because then you can catch all of the stupidity. I think that that's one thing that our podcast sorely misses, is it's just like the stupidity. Yeah, like he just gasped on the camera like, stupid me, never. But I guess like circling it back, it's just like I completely forgot. What were we saying
we were
before?
talking about machinist. We were talking about machinist and bard. So machinist is a marksman. You're saying bard's different because it's got a lot of buffs.
Oh yeah.
And then we got fed into the healers, and we started talking about healer DPS, and I just thought it was important to preface it with.
Oh yeah, and then I'm just like, I expect you
to
to DPS in my static. I mean, that's not an unreasonable
but
expectation in a
no,
static.
no. In Final Fantasy, you have to do it. That's how the healers play, and their DPS is very important.
Well, it's just like
And,
even me on
in
Scholar, it's just like
sure.
you can
But,
DPS
like,
through an expert.
But honestly, like in a raid, if you're playing a Resto Druid, you don't really damage. Like you'll put up a couple dots, but you mainly just heal. It's not that important.
I mean, yeah, and then you have the legendary Vision of Unending Growth or whatever for Raid, then Verdant Infusion now for Mythic Plus. Like, I still think
it's just very different. Like if I'm doing an extreme diamond weapon, I'm like damaging constantly.
I think it really depends on like how close are you to Enrage. It's just like I can tell you like Enrage timers on Savage fights like E11S this tier. You want that healer DPS, and people are just like, well, these fights are designed so that healers don't have to DPS. BS. I mean, maybe it's true. Okay, maybe it's true, but it's just like the difference a healer DPSing versus not in 14 is huge.
Well, if you have two healers, and they're both.
Well, they should be weaving in their cooldowns. It's just like when when we were like going into Diamond, like you remember me telling you, don't heal, don't heal. Like I was telling you actively, don't heal through this. Like just DPS. Exactly. I want your DPS because you'll just overheal. And so it's just like the two healers should be like oscillating their cooldowns.
Yeah, so that's something I noticed. Like if you're not like overlap, if the group's not taking a lot of unnecessary damage, and you can use your DPS cooldowns and do your DPS rotation as a healer, then you plus the other healer can do as much damage as another DPS. It's
absolutely. It's just like what I was doing, like 9k DPS or 10k or something, and that's not even factoring in chain stratagem, and then you were doing like the same. Like it's like that's 20k DPS.
So it's literally like having like another DPS in the party.
More than, because a lot of the DPS that we were like with were doing like 16k. And I mean, obviously, I'm not naming names. Like, the person isn't even in the footage that I'm thinking of. Like, but, like, that's pretty average. It's just like if a DPS is doing 16k, you're gonna still clear Diamond Weapon. Like, that's not a problem. So, like, it's not naming and shaming. Like, that's absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, based upon what I have seen, the average seems to be around that. It's like we're doing way more as two healers than that. Sorry, just always want to disclaimer that because it's like I'm totally not naming and shaming. Like if you're doing 16k DPS as a DPS, like we're still clearing. Like I really don't care. It's like before when I've said like I'm not a parse queen. It's like I'm not a parse queen, and Brendan's just like I know exactly what kind of stupid joke he's making. Like I just don't care about your parse. Like that's not a thing. It's like am I clearing the fight? Am I getting the land waffle? Okay, then I don't care. You do you, Glen Coco. I don't care. Like. But it's just like, I'm gonna DPS my buttocks off. But hunters, hunters, we need to talk about the black sheep. We need to be talking about survival hunters. So this is, I have been racking my head against this one for a while. Survival. It's harder to pare down because the combination of melee with the pet is something like I was saying before with Death Knight, Unholy Death Knight, is it's like until we have the Fan Fest in May, where in my opinion, through raw speculation and obviously not being fed any information at all, is going to involve some kind of finisher with like a minion. And for the record, I'm really not being fed any information at all. But what I'm saying is it's like Yoshi P's wearing the shirts with like the scythe on it. We know like the builder spenders. We have the necromancers in the game. Like it's very much like plausible to imagine we're going to get a melee DPS that has some pet interaction. And I think that in the Fan Fest will be very interesting.
Yeah, let's hope it's not like a survival hunter though, because to be fair with you, the survival hunter is kind of like right now the neglected child of the World of Warcraft family. You know,
I mean, and that's one of the most unfortunate
devs have, you know, kind of just left alone and just allowed to just fall to a state of really just disrepair. It's not good at all.
Yeah, and I disagree with that. Like that's one thing. Is it's just like the WoW developers, honestly, and we already had a rant, so I'm not going to do it again. But like they should seriously take balancing a lot more seriously. It's just like you should not have a class like Survival Hunter. Like where is Survival Hunter right now? Okay, it's not completely at the bottom. It's just with Beastmaster when I'm currently looking at it. It's just under Beastmaster when I'm looking at these logs.
It's not totally bottom anymore?
No. The total bottom on the logs that I'm looking at is Warrior, Arms Warrior. Like, it's not the total bottom, but it is so close. It's like a race to the bottom, I guess.
Okay.
But it's in such a bad state. But fundamentally, the idea of having a melee class with a pet is not a bad idea. Like,
yeah, do you remember like there was someone in our raid who would play Survival Hunter occasionally, and people would make jokes about him?
I don't even remember that, probably because I just tuned out the toxicity. Can you see colors and shapes? Girl, or like them accusing me of like being like I don't even want to say that on my channel. Like they were accusing me of like being on stuff, and I'm like, what? This is my first time seeing the Stone Legion generals on heroic. What do you mean? That's no excuse. I think tuned it out.
Going on. There was something else going on in that guy's life. Wasn't you? But anyhow, let's move on.
Priest. What was needed in that situation was a priest. And so that's what we're talking about next. I mean, Holy Priest. This one, I think Priest is the easiest one to pin down correlations.
Oh, it's a white mage, absolutely.
Holy Priest, though. No, I'm going to disagree completely with that disc in that. But Holy Priest, disc. Easily. I mean, Holy Priest, White Mage. Holy Priest, White Mage.
Holy Priest is a White Mage. Exactly.
Yeah. But Disc Priest?
What's he like?
What?
Disc Priest is going to be your Scholar or your Nocturnal Astrologian just because...
Oh, 100%. Disc Priest, 100% Scholar. Or Noctast right now. Disc Priest is very likely to be Sage. Very, very likely to be Sage. Mitigation, barriers, proactive healing. Spirit Shell in raids. It's just like Disc Priest screams current Scholar, and then Scholar Sage. Like it just screams it. Like in my opinion, that's the easiest correlation to make. Now Shadow Priest is a bit
clear.
What?
Oh yeah, it's super clear.
Yes. Shadow Priest though is a bit more complicated for me. When I played Shadow Priest, I found it one of the more engaging DPS. It wasn't really for me. Like I love Beastmaster, but I'm leaning towards it because it has damage over time effects, it has phases, and when I think damage over time effects and phases, I think Summoner, where it has damage over time effects. It has payoffs for those damage over time effects, very similar to Shadow Priest. It has like the phases where it's like Bahamut phase. Okay, you go into Void Eruption phase. It felt very Summoner-ish. But the way that it was like rooted down caster did feel like Black Mage to me, kind of.
I mean, I'd agree, but I do think it has a little bit more mobility than a Black Mage.
Yeah, but a Black Mage, the difference.
But honestly, it's very different. Like Shadow Priest is very different than anything that's in 14. Yeah. So yeah, this closest thing could be like a Summoner or a Black Mage. I agree.
Yeah, in terms of Black Mage, one thing I should say is like Black Mage played at the highest level by someone who knows what they're doing is terrifying. It is so much damage. It is so wildly powerful, and it is incredibly mobile when you know how to use your ley lines, when you know how to jump to allies. Like Black Mage played well is a whole different beast, but like Black Mage played by like a scrub like me like,
or even just like in a pug, right? That you want to depend on where everyone's standing in a pug for your teleport to ally.
Exactly, and that's probably why I haven't played much Black Mage. It's like that's why you see me playing a lot more Summoner, because I have a revive, because I have the mobility, and I can be independent. Whereas with Black Mage, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna like jump to this person. Oh, the positioning was horrid. Oops. Yeah, exactly. And then I'm dead too, and it's like, so yeah.
And then you're not having fun, and then you're like, okay, I'm changing
at all. Exactly. So do you want to talk about Warrior next? This is where I'm just going to be honest. I didn't play much Warrior. Like my opinions, just off of like what I've seen, is DPS portions. You'd probably like Samurai or Monk most, maybe even Dragoon. But I'm like,
I think Warrior is kind of like a Dragoon, honestly, like an Arms Warrior is, anyways. Or even like honestly, all of them are. All the DPS warriors are probably like a Dragoon, because you have a lot of mobility.
Okay, that would be a thing. But all of the melee DPS in 14 do too.
Fly around.
Yeah. Sorry. All the melee DPS in 14 have mobility. Like Samurai even, and Samurai I'd consider probably the most immobile melee DPS. It has its dashes. It has its way to get out. It's like. But if I'm thinking the most mobile, I'm thinking like Ninja with Suchikuchi, and then with the baseline speed boost. It's hard for me to decide, really. I'd say they'd be happy almost with anything.
It is. I don't know. Just in terms of like the plate armor and like the fantasy, I don't know. It makes me think like a warrior.
Are you thinking of my like relic armor from Eureka, the like neon green black armor that I have?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, I love it. It's literally like a gamer mouse, like RGB, like it's like the RGB armor of 14. I love it so much, but yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, if you want that fantasy, then yeah, I'd agree with that.
Exactly.
Tank.
While we're talking about RGB, if any hardware manufacturers are listening, sponsor us, give us RGB stuff.
Yes, exactly. Yes, please. Heck yes. I am such a fool for RGB stuff. I love it so much. It's like my entire computer and all that. It's like RGB. I love it.
Oh, it makes your computer faster.
It makes me happier.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, so if we want to talk about Warrior, like, yeah, it could be like I just think Dragoon, to be honest with you, but like it could be a Samurai. It's really just it's
I think that they'd have to try it out, because it's like, what aspect of Warrior do you like the most? Really is what it comes down to.
I just think a ninja and a samurai are just kind of more like a rogue, because they wear like like light
samurai. Samurai is just big. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like if Asmongold wanted to play anything, and we all know that his thing is like big D DPS, he would be playing a samurai, because that is the big D DPS of this game. It has big DPS,
big like plate armor kind of.
Yeah, but you can get some glamours like that for the samurai too. But when I'm thinking about gameplay style, it's like there is nothing that has a bigger D DPS than samurai right now. Like it is just, it's crazy. I mean, even pulling up like the logs, it's like Black Mage is Black Mage is just slightly behind it by like literally like 37 DPS or something.
Yeah, by that kind of logic, Samurai would then end up being similar to like an outlaw rogue. But anyhow.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I just think like asmongold, like on his streams, it's just like he's using like arms warrior and right, like it's arms or fury, and he's like blowing through all this content, and it's just like, and then he's like, oh, the big DPS, and it's just like I'm like samurai.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm terrible for that, but I mean that's instantly that's where my mind goes at least. But I'm glad you're disagreeing though, because I'm like, yeah, I don't want you to just.
I just think in the game when you can't really differentiate it like based on gameplay, I just kind of go with like the class fantasy a little.
Yeah, in which case, like the more heavy armor, like the dragoon armor looks basically the same as the tank set. Like it's just like there's a lot of overlap. Like it is a heavier chainmail armor for sure. It literally looks like the tank set. Like if you see dragoon footage from me, like or like my tweets with like my dragoon with the beret. The most recent ones are with the beret. It's just like you'll see like it's like this pure black like armor with like these neon like green RGB things. It looks the exact. It's like a direct analog to the tank set. The tank only has like the yellow golden glow, so it's super cool. But the dragon's like this green glow. Sorry, I love that set. I grinded Eureka, and you know what? It was painful slog, but you know what? So worth it at the end, because it's like years later I'm just like, it's like item levels fade, but glamour is forever.
Exactly. So let's move on to
okay,
I guess
monk.
The monk.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so I'm writing down the timestamp so that we don't lose people. 35 monk. So in my opinion, Windwalker Monk is tricky, because Windwalker Monk, when I played it, because I really wanted to main Mistweaver Monk and Monk in general, when I played it, it was the insane speed, it was the bursts of damage, it was the mobility was unprecedented. And when I think about an analogy, it's like ninja comes to mind instantly. And it's not just because, oh, monks and ninjas, like I'm talking about gameplay wise, because the monk is super mobile, ninja super mobile. Monk has super big burst phases. Ninja has trick attack, and trick attack is probably the strongest raid cooldown in game. It is up every minute. It is a huge landslide of raid DPS. It is so stupidly strong. And it's just like, it's not a burst for you. Like, it's just like, you're not summoning like an RGB, 3 different holographic versions of yourself with a giant zoo and tiger going, Rear! Like you literally have like all of these like bursts into like trick attack. And mind you do have things like on ninja, like you summon a big Naruto toad that goes bleh on them and stuff. Like you do have that. You can even summon like a holographic version of yourself with like, oh god, what is the name? It's like hallucination or something, but you can do that. It's like, or shadow clone or something like that. And it's like, that is a thing that would be similar, but in terms of gameplay, I'd definitely say that. Like, I don't know how you'd feel on that, but that's me at least.
Yeah, so like honestly, the last time I played Monk would have been, when the heck would that have been? Like the end of Warlords of Draenor. Okay. So it's been a while for me, but yeah, honestly, Monk is it's fast. It's bursty. For that reason, it would feel like a ninja. I mean, why don't we go over why is it not a monk? Because there's literally a class in Final Fantasy called Monk.
I know there's a class literally called Monk, and it's just like Monk. It's similar-ish, but it's just like I don't. I mean, there's things that you'd like about like Monk can use Fists of Wind and be fast, but it's just like in general, I don't think about it. I mean, yeah, Windwalker Monk has good defense of Monk right now with Riddle of Earth. Like it's such a good mitigation. That ability people are saying should be nerfed, but it's so close to an expansion that's like, why do that? Ultimately, why I'd say ninjas, just like when I think about Windwalker Monk, it's just that burst, and it's just like you encapsulate that in the raid cooldown. That's me at least.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I'd agree. Honestly, I do not play a ton of Monk. I know when WoW it's a little bit faster. Mm-hmm. It was my main in WoD.
It's so fast. It's fun. You speedy boy, and then you just do the dragon kick, and it's like, whoosh. I love it. I actually really liked it. It's a shame that Mistweaver Monk, which is what we're talking about next, was so bad.
Yeah,
But
it's
do you have any other
definitely
Windwalker thing,
not a
or?
good healer. No. Yeah,
So
Mistweaver.
I liked Mistweaver Monk's playstyle though, but the trick is with Mistweaver Monk is it's melee. Instantly, we don't have melee healers in 14. But what it does have is it had heal over time effects. It fist weave for lots of less damage than you'd have hoped. And then they also have the alternative to dump a massive amount of healing to a single target. At this point, I'd say that your closest bet for those features would be White Mage, but honestly, it's really far away. It sucks because we don't really have any analogy. Like, I can't think of anything. It's like maybe White Mage, but that's so different. Like, Mistweaver Monk is just that different of a healer, really.
It is very different, Tom. Yeah, it's hard to describe because like it has its cocoon, which is like a ton of like absorption. It also has very strong single target healing. It has some good group healing, albeit like it's undertuned right now, or it was at least.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just looking at playstyle. I just can't identify anything.
Yeah, it's different, especially because you like place like that totem, and that helps with your healing a lot too.
Oh yeah, you can do that, but I was also picking up Chi-Ji when I was playing it, which was fun, especially for fist weaving. It was so fun. I loved fisting. Like, oh my god, it was such a freaking powerful ability set. It was so good. Fist weaving is bar none my favorite. It's right there with cat weaving on Resto Druid for fist weaving on Monk. So I don't know. That's about all I can say.
Yeah,
on that.
except I don't know. It's just weaving apparently is not good from what I've heard.
Okay, screw the people that say that. It's fun. It's fun. I
No,
hate
true.
that. I hate that the balance is so bad.
Yeah, I'm sure it is fun. I've heard a lot of people tell me that they love it, but just they're not playing their Mistweavers anymore because the balance is just not there.
That brings us to Brewmaster Monk. I'm so bitter about Mistweaver, but Brewmaster Monk honestly is an incredibly unique tank, and I loved that. This is why I was making Monk my main. It has stagger mechanic. That is so cool. So basically, anyone that doesn't know stagger is you'll take damage. Like, let's say that you take like a 50k tank buster. That 50k tank buster hits all at once. Any other tank would take that, obviously, all at once. Stagger mechanic would stagger it instead over like 8-second duration. Like if you took a talent 7 or 8 second, it would be like 10k or like 7k, 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 7k as like a damage over time effect, which made it so much easier to heal. This is why Brewmaster Monk was widely regarded as the best raid tank. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong on that. Like, people were taking it into like high-end Mythic Plus keys back in the day. They were taking it into raids just because it could swallow this damage and you actually could heal it.
Yeah, no, it's always been very strong. And the stagger mechanic is very unique because
I love it.
Have heals, and they do have some heals, but like while other tanks would just have like a bunch of pure self-healing or shielding or mitigation, they just have the stagger, which is very strong, which splits the damage over time. So if you have them in like your Mythic Plus, you just hot them up, they just do their thing.
Exactly,
just,
and you as a
turn
Resto
into
Druid main, like,
cat for them and just DPS, and it's fun.
exactly, and with someone who uses like a lot of heal over time effects like a Resto Druid, like that was super easy to heal, or like Resto Shaman, like that's easy.
Exactly. That's a mechanic that doesn't exist in 14 though. So
I wish it did. I wish it did. It is so good. It's like if you added the stagger mechanic in even a little bit of a form to Warrior in 14, boom, you found my favorite tank because it has so much self-healing. You add that, it'd require a lot of balancing, but that you just found my favorite tank. But honestly, just stagger is all about making damage intake on the tank smoother. Ultimately, that's the thing that comes to mind when I think about it, and so this is where I am drawing my 14 parallel from. What tank is best at making tank damage smoother in 14? That's the Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is hands down my favorite tank to heal in all of Final Fantasy 14. I don't care. That's my honest feeling. That is, like, I don't have problem with different tanks. But it's just like with the Dark Knight, it makes damage intakes and damage spikes like tank busters more predictable. You combine the Blackest Night with something like oh god, the name just escaped me. It's like Dark Mind. Tank buster just got swallowed, especially if you combine it with something like Rampart or like the 30% mitigation. Like, it is huge. So yeah, that is the strength of the brew. Sorry.
It makes me happy when I see.
Oh, it makes me so happy. It's just like the other day. Yeah. Oh my god, it's like when we had Lux come in and tank, I'm just like, oh my god, I love you so much. This is so easy to heal. Like a good Dark Knight smooths out the damage, and it makes it predictable, and that, as a healer, is all I really want. Even a Scholar, and people are just like, Scholar doesn't have much healing. I'm like, no, we do. So that's me. So sadly, honestly, though, is one other thing I liked about Brewmaster Monk that we do not really have is mobility. And so Brewmaster Monk, super mobile tank, incredibly mobile tank. I mean, Ring of Peace with the mobility made it so easy to kite stuff. We don't have anything like that in 14.
Yeah, no, exactly. Tanks do not have that. Tanks, don't have the ability to jump around or anything.
I mean, they can do 2 dashes, and then they can do sprint, like Dark Knight can do that. But it's like, it doesn't have the same level of mobility. Like, I cannot, in good faith, tell someone, oh, yeah, you're going to have, like, the same mobility. It's like, no.
It's not like a monk with the rolls, no.
No, not at all. Like, it is so different, so I can't in good faith say, like, it'll have the mobility, but I can say it'll have the damage smoothing. So, let's go to Paladin. And so, I wonder if you have the same feeling as me. You go first.
Paladin is really just a paladin in terms of the tank. Yeah, honestly, like, Ret, I don't even know what it would be. Just like some like big damage spike, bursty class. So like, I don't know. But what do you think of Ret would be?
Oh god, that's hard because Ret Paladin is big burst and utility to allies. Utility, excuse me, that we do not have in 14. Melee DPS has some utilities. Yeah, Monk can boost healing on allies, but after playing Ret Paladin myself in WoW, it's not even close to the same. It's just like, if you love the utility, maybe the closest thing you can get is Dragoon, but honestly, you don't get anything like a Ret Paladin. Like, you don't have the ability to dispel allies, heal allies, make them immune to crowd control effects, Divine Shield yourself, which is the most powerful defensive cooldown on a DPS. It's just like, you don't have that. You don't. But I'd say, honestly, like, I'd agree with you, like, the Tank Paladin. It's just like spot heals that can be applied to allies, absolutely. In fact, with Tank Paladin, Requiescat, which you then follow with, which gives you a massive healing bonus, and then you follow that up with Clemency, is such a stupidly big burst of healing. It's actually ridiculous. Like, if your healers are not paying attention to you, you want to go Paladin. Or if you don't have like healers, or like consistently bad luck with healers, or maybe you're just with like Brendan and he just doesn't know how to heal, and you're just like, oh, I gotta tank this, okay, I'm gonna go Paladin. Like Requiescat, Clemency, it's very similar to like Word of Glory. Like, it is, but actually I'd argue Clemency is stronger. Like, I love it because it's like you don't have the holy power limitation, but similar to that. But you, in a similar vein, you lose DPS because you should be spending that on Holy Spirit ability, which is stupidly strong. But when you do that, like the Clemency, it's huge. And it's just like Holy Paladin. Honestly, I'm gonna make this short. Similar to Mistweaver, we don't have a melee healer. We have aspects of the Holy Paladin, like Beacon of Light has Sinistry for Ast, and we have insane burst healing like White Mage, like with Benediction, but like Lay on Hands would be Benediction, but it's like we don't have anything. I don't know. What's your feelings on that?
Yeah, it's very different than any healer in 14.
Yeah, like I can't recommend any healer specifically for this. Like, it's like I like the Holy Paladin, but I just
like, it does have a bunch of single target burst healing. So I mean, if you like that, go White Mage.
I'd say so.
Yeah, exactly. Next, we're down to Demon Hunters.
Demon Hunter, like, to me, it's mobility. Demon Hunter above any other mechanic, tank or DPS spec, mobility. The backflips, the gliding, it's ridiculous. It is so different than anything in any other game that I've played. It's just like, maybe it'd be similar to Ion Online with the flying, but it's like you're actually doing that actively in combat. It's like, it's super mobile. And I'd say the DPS would be easier to recommend. I'd say Dragoon. Just because it is so mobile. Like, you get the backflips, you get the lunges forward, but even then, it's like you don't really have a glide on the Dragoon. If we did, oh my god, could you imagine if they added that in Endwalker? That'd be crazy. We don't really have an analogy to that. So.
Yeah, it would be really cool. Imagine if they had like some cool like dragon form, like similar to like the demon form. Like,
I'd love that. Okay, I would actually love that. That would be so cool.
That would be cool.
Oh my god,
but anyhow,
I'd love that.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you for Dragoon.
Actually, or Ninja. I'd say also Ninja because it's just so many mobility abilities. It has a higher base movement, and then it has Sushi Kuchi, which allows it to teleport twice. It is so good for that. Okay, tanks. It's the same thing as we were literally just saying with Brewmaster. Mobility, all tanks have 2 charges and sprint. I mean, minus Warrior. Warriors is a little bit more complicated. It's like a lower cooldown, but it requires some in rage gauge. Like, it's different. But what I think of also with Demon Hunter... Oh, sorry?
They have a ton of self-healing too, though. So
that's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly, because it's just like, why is Demon Hunter right now really, really meta? It's like their self-healing is so stupidly high. And so, to me, my instant recommendation is Warrior. Do you agree, or...?
Yeah, no, I think we're very much of the same mind on that.
Perfect. So, I'm thinking now Shaman. We're actually down to the last 2, so... very close to the end here.
Shaman and Rogue, yes.
So, Elemental Shaman, I did play a lot of because honestly, to anyone watching, I spent way too much time researching and playing these things. But Elemental Shaman, when I was playing it, it had a passive that would basically allow like multiple procs of the same thing. To my brain, my P brain, bing! Red Mage dual cast. That's me at least. I don't know. People are probably going to disagree with me and be like, oh, that's totally different. But to me, that is what it really looked like. As well as they brought a lot of utility. And it's not necessarily battle res because I know Elemental Shamans doesn't have it. But they had other forms of utility. And I'm like, okay, that's utility. Red Mage is like king of utility in terms of DPS. That's me at least.
Exactly. It feels more like a red mage, but it is very different. Like it's not as much of a red mage as like the balance druid is with like its reses, but
no.
it is similar to that because you know it can off heal. It has a bunch of procs.
And it does have the wolf form, so you can use the mobility of the red mage for that too. Kind of. It's not the same.
Not as much though.
It's like more burst mobility on red mage, but it's just like wolf form is more consistent and on demand.
Exactly. But yeah, I think if you were someone who played a shaman, you'd be at home.
Well, elemental shaman for sure, because you also build up the maelstrom, and that's like building up white and black mana and then using it for that massive combo. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like to me, I'd say red mage. What?
Yeah, and I guess that's pretty much it. That's what I think for that.
So this brings us all the way to enhancement enhancement shaman. And so to me it's the same thing, strong utility, but it's a melee DPS, and it does have some mobility too, just like we said before. And so for me, this is very gameplay based what I'm going to recommend, because it's like we don't have a direct comparison. I mean, a more melee based red mage would be what I would call enhancement shaman. I mean, I remember I was talking to you and I'm just like, oh my god, this is like a proc-based, like, elemental shot, like, red mage, I mean, that is, like, in melee range, is how I remember talking to you. And so, I have to say Dragoon. And why I say that is because it has its on GCD and then off GCD rotations, which really, when I was playing Enhancement Shaman, it was just the fast pace of gameplay of da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And so when I think about that, I'm like, okay, like the Dragoon has their on GCD rotation that they have to keep track of with positionals, but they also have the off global cooldown rotation that they are also maintaining at all times, as well as like the different like stages of the Dragoon life cycle. It's just like, okay, you pop and then you go into like the blood of the dragon form, and yeah, to me at least, I don't know how you feel on that.
Yeah, like enhancement is one of those classes that I've just never really played that much of. It's kind of, I don't know, it's just never really been like my thing.
Was the black sheep before?
It is melee. Sorry?
It was like one of the black sheep of the DPS. It was like right there with like survival. It's only recently that it's really coming to the forefront, I noticed.
Yeah, exactly. It's melee.
And even then, it's
plays quickly. People are it has a lot of mobility. Probably similar to like a. I don't even know. Yeah, it could be a Dragoon.
I'd say personally, it's tough because it's just like if we had a melee red mage, it'd be that, but we don't. So it's like, that's kind of how I feel on that. It's like, So, do you want to talk about Restoration Shaman?
Yeah, sure. We can talk about Restoration Shaman. So, like, Restoration Shaman, honestly, like, I feel like we can just get into this. So people like never use really. In Savage Raids, you almost never use like stuns, slows, or interrupts. So
you can't because the boss is
it has a ton of like healing throughput. So in that way, it would be similar to like a white mage. But then the reason why it's like very good at World of Warcraft is it has like it has wind shear, which is basically a interrupt on a very low cooldown, and
Oh my god, I love that
those
ability.
don't really matter all that much in 14. I'd just be like,
I
okay,
disagree
just
because
go.
White Mage with its Holy Stun changes Expert
Well, okay,
Roulette.
it's good in dungeons,
It's
but
so good.
in raid content it doesn't matter.
It
You don't
depends.
need to interrupt
Like, White
most
Mage
raid
doesn't have
content.
a stun. Like, Wind Shear in 14, like, I'm thinking about E1S, so, like, the first fight of the first tier of this expansion. We had an ads phase where the ads would be casting something, and it would have to be interrupted on both ads, and it was so infuriating, because Scholar literally just had Celine lost, and Celine used to have a silence, and I'm like, "Rah." But mind you, would it have been considered an interrupt? Who knows? But I remember I was like, "Rah." Pug groups killed me back then.
Like, honestly, you could literally just go like a White Mage or even like an Astroversion.
Just because of the huge deep healing reservoirs. Like, it's insane on Shaman. It's actually insane.
It is. It's very good, this expansion.
Now, do you want to talk about Rogue? I'm scared about talking about Rogue because of everything in WoW. This is probably what I have the least amount of experience with. So I feel a little scared to talk about Rogue, if I'm being fully honest.
Yeah, same. I've leveled it, but I've never really like played it that much at max level. So like, honestly, for me, like I would just say just go Ninja because it's stealth. It's a strong melee DPS. It kind of is a very similar class fantasy. I know with Rogue, you like it's all about building and spending your combo points.
Now, see, I have a friend who was like a Rogue purist. He was just like, I'm only Rogue in WoW and I won't play anything else. And he is currently playing a Dragoon.
Oh, okay.
So, in my opinion, maybe Dragoon would be good. But I mean, like, it's like we were saying before, like, Rogue is super high damage. Samurai is the big D DPS of the game. I mean, I think that someone might feel at home at there. Like, I think that I genuinely feel so underqualified to talk about Rogue. Like, that's one thing. Like, if I went back to play World of Warcraft, I might be leveling a Rogue just to understand it. Because when I talk to Rogue players, I'm a little bit at a loss.
Yeah, it's something that I don't really play normally. I like to play casters and healers. So.
Same. Minus cat weaving, which was fun. Or minus monk. I liked my monk.
Exactly.
So yeah, I just tried the different DPS. I'm thinking like ninja, samurai, something like that.
But yeah, like I guess the biggest take home message here is though, like because everything is like so similar damage wise in 14, kind of just pick whatever you like, whatever playstyle you like, and honestly it's good enough.
Honestly, I'd agree with that. I mean, I think that my biggest hurdle talking to WoW players is just understanding like 14. Our developers really do care, and that's not an understatement. That is like just to wrap it up, like it's like our developers care so deeply about the community. Like, I'm not gonna get into like all of the countless examples, but like when I think about like the balance of WoW, to me it feels like there are I'm just gonna say it. I mean, this is not a conspiracy theory. Obviously, I wouldn't know, but like to me, it honestly feels like, let's pull up Warcraft logs. I feel like the lead devs play Fire Mage, Outlaw Rogue, Balanced Druid, Holy Paladin. Are you picking up that I'm literally just looking at the top of the meters? It's just like these are so... They are so above everything else. Or Resto Shaman. I mean, we know that like a lead dev must be playing that. Like, you cannot be the need to go pick for Resto. Sorry?
Yeah. No, exactly.
Like, it's just a go-to raid healer. Like, it always has been. It's just like, you cannot tell me that there's not a lead dev that is playing Resto. Is not like, it's just so good, so consistently. I mean, it's just like, it's so easy to like look at these and be like, it just feels biased. I mean, tinfoil hat time, whatever, but it's just like, it just does not feel balanced. It almost feels intentionally imbalanced. It's just like, then I look at like the bottom and it's like Arms Warrior, Sub Rogue, Ret Paladin, Feral Druid, Demonology, Beastmaster Hunter, Survival Hunter. It's just like, it's so hard to see the same amount of care and compassion passion put into them. It's just so different. So when people come to Final Fantasy 14 and I'm like, they're like the same. People just don't believe me until like I pull up like FF logs and I'm like look at our top DPS, look at our lowest DPS, and look at their max values, and then note that like our lowest DPS, Machinist, Bard, and Dancer, are range DPS, and so they can do different mechanics, and that your max Samurai or your max Black Mage is so brutally hard to get that number with that the Machinist, Bard, and Dancer will oftentimes just simply be out damaging the Samurais unless the Samurai or Black Mage is that good. But it's like, it's so much more balanced. It's like, it really, really, really shouldn't be a concern about like what is good or what is not, because it's like our meta is so close. Like there were periods in time where maybe you could have made an argument about like, okay, Monk wasn't powerful, or okay, Ast wasn't powerful. But it's like even right now I'm playing Scholar and having no issue at all. In fact, I'm telling Brendan, like correct me if I'm wrong, like I tell you, stop healing. You're just gonna go into overhealing because I can do that much. So yeah, like...
Yeah, and it's kind of annoying, because sometimes I'm like, I actually want to heal, but because the rotation for DPS for a white mage is 2 keeps. Then yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's okay.
I mean, I just...
But
ultimately...
Yeah, so the takeaway is, like, everyone just play what you like. I came to WoW recently, you know, from to 14. Like, I've been playing almost a year. It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it, and I definitely think it's worth a go. If you don't really like what they've done with the balance in WoW, it's definitely worth trying 14.
Yeah, I'd agree. And I mean, this is just like 2 people's opinions. Like, that's why I'm glad that I have like Brennan on for the podcast. Is it's just like he comes with so much World of Warcraft knowledge, and it's like I have a little. I've stepped toes into it, and so these are just 2 people's opinions. I hope people try different. What?
I haven't really played too much Enhancement Shaman or Rogue, so I hope it's helpful. But
yeah, that's like there's some things like that are trickier for us, but I think that was good. But remember, like, try different things. Like, this is a different game, and like we have Dancer, we have so many different things that don't have any parallels in WoW, and so I really hope that people like try things out. Like the entire idea about like raid buffs is like really different. It's just like, oh, we stack Ninja Strict Attack with Dragoon's Battle Litany, with Monk's what is it, Brotherhood buff, like with Dancer's Technical Step. Like it's just like, and that's a very real thing that you need to take into account in 14. WoW doesn't really have that. But that's all for this video, I guess. I think that's a good way to conclude it. Is I just try everything and see what clicks. But these are what we would recommend if you're looking for like analogies.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like just play what you like. Honestly, go. Everything's so close. Just go with whatever you like the gameplay feel of, and yeah, you're gonna have a great time. And I really hope that you all find this content helpful.
Absolutely. Anyhow, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that this helped.
But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, Cole and I would really appreciate it if you would throw a Dragoon class balance, I don't know, at the like button, and Cat Daddy hit the subscribe button. I don't know.
That was excellent. That's the level of chaos that I usually aim for.
Yes.
Take care, everyone.